Diary of a Sociopathic Mother-in-Law Next Door entry. Today's date is Friday, the 4th of July, 2025. Independence Day, hopefully. So, where did we finish up in the last entry? It was around that whole boiler story. That dragged on a bit, didn't it? So, she can't thank her own daughter for doing everything. It's like she's a male chauvinist. She thinks only men can do the practical things. It must have been me who did it. Or is she just completely incapable of giving her daughter the satisfaction of saying thank you and acknowledging that she's helped her? Is she incapable of doing that? Because even if she thought behind the scenes it was all me sorting out the practicalities, even if she thought that, she can still say thank you to her daughter and say, oh, thanks to you both. Do you know what I mean? So she can thank us both. But no, she can't do that. She can't show gratitude towards her own daughter because she's envious of her, she hates her. She could have easily said to me, thanks to you both. No, she can't. She's never acknowledged it to her own daughter, and she's never had a conversation about what was the problem was with the boiler and does she need to do anything different in the future. She doesn't care, top and bottom of it. So as long as it's fixed, if it goes wrong again, it'll just get fixed. You know, somebody else will just sort it out for her. Why should she care? Why should she change her ways to try and avoid something going wrong in the future? You know, the way she treats the boiler is the way she treats everybody. So, my daughter's birthday is approaching at this point, which is 8th of June. It's also the Husk's birthday, I think the 12th of June. So unfortunately, our daughter has to share, not the day, but you know, the period, the same sort of time, birthday. So we're waiting for a parcel to be delivered for our daughter's birthday. And as you do these days, everything gets ordered online, and the Husk hasn't got a clue what to buy her own granddaughter because she doesn't know her. She doesn't know anybody. She doesn't know herself. So she has to ask us, what can I get her? And then really, we have to order it. But this is the easiest way anyway. Make sure she actually gets the right thing. We order it. Husk gives us the money. We take it over, and then she presents it to our granddaughter as if it's from her. The whole thing is fake. It's just a ritual, a tick box exercise. So we've ordered a bunch of stuff. Some of it to be delivered, some of it's for the Husk to give to her, and some of it is obviously our presents. And one of them needs to be signed for, and it's one of the main presents from us. And it's a total surprise. It's not a total surprise, but it's a surprise. And it's important, obviously. So I'm working from home, sitting in the little study at home, which is kind of on the side of the house, and the window points out onto the driveway. And from that window I can see comings and goings up the driveway into the house. So I'm sitting there and I see what looks like a delivery guy walk past the window. Now, normally, I would hear the knock, but if I don't hear it, or if I'm on a work call and I can't answer the door, I'll see the delivery guy walk past this window, go to the back door and leave it in the back porch, under the back porch. And that's what I thought was happening. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know whether it was for us or whether it was for the Husk. Whatever this parcel is. Because I don't know, I'm not ordering it, I'm not in charge of it. I'm not I haven't taken responsibility for ordering the presents. That's the Beacon has taken on that role. So I see this delivery guy walk past the window, and then I hear him having a conversation with somebody, and I just assume I just assume that he's delivering the present to the Husk. That's common sense, or it's a understandable conclusion to jump to. Delivery guy walks up the drive. Next thing you know, you hear a conversation taking place. You think, right, that's sorted. Whoever that parcel for, it's being sorted. So didn't think anything of it. A couple of days later, maybe the next day, the Beacon is explaining that she's waiting for an important parcel for part of her daughter's birthday, and apparently they attempted to deliver it. Actually, no, that's wrong. No, it's the following day, maybe 2 days later. Maybe this was over a weekend. A couple of days later, the delivery guy knocks on the door, answers the door, says, "Oh, thankfully you're in." I said, "Right." I tried to deliver it the other day, and this is one of those really strict ones where I actually need a photograph of it being, the door of the house being open and the parcel is being accepted. You know, a really strict kind of signed for situation, whatever. So he said, so I was unable to deliver it. I said, "All right, you can't just leave it at the back door and take a photograph." He says, "No, it needs to be being received." And I said, "And when did you deliver it? First time?" And he told us. And I said, "Did you have a conversation with the neighbours?" And yeah, the people who live out the back. Yeah. I said, "Right, and so what did they say?" "Oh, well, I just told them that I couldn't leave it with them because it had to be being received into that house there." Oh, there they are down the river. Couple of liars. Yoo-hoo. So yeah, he told them that it had to be photographed being received into the house, so I couldn't leave it with them. I said, "What did they say?" "Nothing." And so what struck me straight away here was, I'm sitting in the house. The Husk she's probably, if she stopped to think about it, she must have a good idea that I'm working from home. And fair enough, if the delivery guy has said, "I've knocked on the door and there's no answer," she might think, he's not in. But all she needed to do was double check. You know, she could. I mean, there's a few things she could have done. She could have walked in, knocked on the door, at the back door, checked it, see if it was open, if it's open, there's probably somebody in. She could have knocked on the little study window. She would have seen us anyway, because I sit right in front of that window at the desk. She could have rang us. But she didn't do any of those things. And I'm not saying this is intentional. I was just saying that's how unthoughtful she is. She must know. If she thought about it, there's nothing worse than not having a parcel delivered, missing it. And she stopped to think she must have had a good idea. That was for our daughter's birthday. So, if it was me, I would have rang her and I would have said, where are you? She might, if she's not in, she might have just been across at Dickhead's house. Get yourself here quick if you want your parcel. There's no action. That's the point. She does nothing. And because why would she? She doesn't care, remember? And if you pulled her about this, well, he told us there's nothing I could do. She's got an excuse. You can't have a go at her for not taking any of those options. Because, well, he told us he couldn't deliver it, so I just followed his orders. So long as she's got her excuse that there's nothing that she needed to do, then that's it. As long as she's blame free. And these are just common courtesies I'm talking about. It's not huge expectations. Just double check that I'm in. That's unusual. He works from home a lot. Anyway, now you might think that's being trivial and petty, but around about the same time, same period, she's quick and she doesn't tell us. That's another thing. She doesn't mention it. She doesn't even mention it to us. That's another key. That's a bigger point. So by not telling us, passing on that message that this is a strict recorded delivery, you must be in, by not telling us that, it risked us missing it again. Who cares? She doesn't care. She doesn't care. You would think, well, you don't need to think. It's obvious. A normal, rational human being with common courtesy would take that information and go, I must tell my daughter that information so she doesn't miss it again. It doesn't matter what the parcel is and who it's for. But she doesn't even give it a thought because she doesn't care. It's not her parcel, and she's got no responsibility in her mind, no responsibility at all for that parcel to be successfully delivered. She doesn't care. She doesn't even give it a thought that it might be for her granddaughter's birthday, because to give that thought, that would follow the initial thought. The initial thought would be, it's really important that my daughter or son-in-law are in to get that parcel. It's really important. I must tell them. That has to be the initial thought. The secondary thought was, it might be for my granddaughter. I must write that down and make sure I don't forget. That would be the thought process of a normal functioning human being with empathy. But no, she doesn't care. She doesn't care about her granddaughter. So if we had missed that parcel and had it not been delivered, and we had said, this parcel came, we would have been none the wiser. The parcel was apparently attempted to be delivered twice. Now we've missed it. She would just, in her own mind, it's not to do with me. She might say, it came and they told us that they couldn't leave it. And she wouldn't realise it. Well, did you not tell us? Anyway, well, just, I never give it a thought, would be her response. So anyway, round about the same time, she sent the beacon a text. So she can't text the beacon about the missed delivery, but she texts her about this. Have my presents come yet? That's it. But she doesn't, she still doesn't mention the missed one. I mean, that could have been hers. This is how dumb she is. So, have my presents come yet? So she can text her for an update on her presents, but she can't text her for an update on our presents or our parcel. This is how selfish it is. She's done nothing. She hasn't even given it a thought. Her granddaughter's birthday. She hasn't even given it a thought. She knows it's her birthday, because that's just repetition. It's written in her calendar. If she forgets, and even if she remembers, people's birth dates are just etched into your brain, into your memory. That's not giving it a thought. By giving it a thought, I mean, what will I get her? And, putting in some actual brain energy, spending some energy, thought energy, into thinking about what you can buy your own granddaughter for her 15th birthday. Now, yeah, fair enough. She might want to get her something that she wants, that's on her granddaughter's list. Fine, do that. Why don't you compliment it with something that you've chosen? The whole, the phrase, saw this and thought of you. Why is she never, I've never, ever, ever, ever known her to give a gift on that basis. Saw this and thought of you. Every single birthday, Christmas present is from a list which is given to her by the people involved. Christmas, she gets a list of her own daughters, but she insists, where's your list, where's your list, where's your list? And roadkill is the same, I've done my list. Because she's selfish as well. She doesn't want a surprise, something that potentially she doesn't need and doesn't want. She doesn't want that. She wants gifts to be, so she can tick them off her own list. Saves her money. The whole thing is fake. So, anyway, she hasn't even given her birthday a thought. What she's done is, she's remembered that it's her birthday, it's written in her calendar. She's texted her daughter, the beacon, and she said, what can I get my granddaughter for her birthday? That's it. Thank you. Cheers. That's it. That's all she's done. And then the beacon has said, here's a list. How much are you willing to spend? And then she's given her a list of items within that budget. And then she's ordered them for her. And then she's going to take them over to her house in a gift bag. And then the Husk is going to present them as if they're from her. So she's done nothing. She hasn't even given it a thought. But she's so, adamant. She's so obsessed with her own selfishness. My presents come yet. My presents come yet. But she can't give the beacon the courtesy of telling her about the missed delivery. It's just me. And obviously, she would use the lie, if you were to challenge her, she would use the lie of, well, I just didn't want the band to miss out. Yeah, there's always somebody else to blame, and there's always, well, yeah, that's just blaming Daisy's birthday for her selfishness. If you didn't want the Ben to miss out, you should have done this earlier, off your own back. And she probably doesn't trust the beacon, because as was said previously, the beacon hasn't got the best of memories for trivial stuff, but the Husk thinks that's just everything. She's got a bad memory for everything. No, she's not gonna let her daughter down on her birthday, Husk. The only thing that's gonna let her daughter down is if you don't tell us that we've missed a delivery and that we need to be in. That's the only thing that's gonna let our daughter down, is you. So selfish. So obviously I told the beacon about this whole delivery story, and obviously, you know, she's just rolls her eyes. You can't trust her, that's the point. You can't trust her to do the right thing. So it comes up to our daughter's birthday, everything's been delivered, no thanks to the Husk. Oh, there's a deer running across the field. So it comes to our daughter's birthday. We spend the morning giving her gifts, and our daughter is planning on going out with a friend into town, into Newcastle, to the big bad city. The Husk and St George, or at St George's house, were aware that she stopped there the night before, and obviously the Husk is, you know, straight away, when can I give my granddaughter her presents? You know, it's one of the first texts that you have to deal with in the morning. So the beacon just said she's waiting in Newcastle this afternoon. So we'll get her to come across. We'll get her to come across before she goes. And me and the beacon are thinking, how they're going to play this with St George, because obviously she's going to have to come home. The Husk is going to have to come home. Our daughter's going to nip across to the lair to see her for her birthday presents. How are the two of them going to play this? Is he going to be there? Like what? Because why? It's not like a gathering, a party. It's like, is she going to come home by herself? Because, you know, these are sensitive times. This is a 15-year-old girl who deeply, deeply loved her granddad. And what you've got to remember is, all of the flaws of granddad, stepdad, for all of his flaws that I've spoken about, he was flawless when it came to his granddaughter and his relationship. It was loving, it was fun, it was full of joy, happiness, and he absolutely, I think he probably felt something towards his granddaughter, because he's got other grandchildren as well. I'm not going to go into his family history, but you know, he's been married 3 times, however many kids, however many grandchildren. He doesn't have anything to. It's not that he doesn't have. Well, some of his family has. He doesn't have anything to do with them. Not through any fallings out. Just drifted, and you know, not a close family. The point is, he's probably felt something in relation to our daughter, his granddaughter, that he's never felt before, because no strings attached. It's not his child. He's got no responsibility. Sees her multiple times a week when she was very, very young, and then growing up, and being a toddler multiple times a week, no strings attached, no responsibilities. You can just totally enjoy the pure, loving, fun element of having a grandchild. But he didn't spoil it. He didn't give us sweets and spoil her and like her grandmothers do, generally speaking. Just, yeah. So our daughter's relationship with him was 100% pure and perfect. It didn't need any more, and there was nothing negative about it. Perfect. She loves him. She misses him. She did an amazing piece of artwork in his memory, which was presented on display at the funeral, and on display on the tall ship, and on display in our bar, right in front of where Grandad used to sit. Absolutely amazing piece of artwork on A3 paper, framed. Beautiful artwork, beautiful words. And, are you going to respect that, St. George and the dragon, Husk? You're going to respect that? Or is he just coming over for a birthday? He comes over, doesn't he? See the pair of them walking up the drive. God, there's no show without punch, I think the phrase is. So, go on then, pet. Get yourself away over. Go and collect the presents that you know that we've ordered and given to your grandma to present to you. And she just laughs. She knows the crack. She knows it's all fake. But this is the thing about these families, dysfunctional families, like this one, mine. They know everybody knows it's fake, but they do it anyway. Because they just can't handle the alternative. The alternative is you do something that you've thought of. Hard work, isn't it? So anyway, she goes over, comes back. Obviously, we know what our presents are because we bought them. Well, she gave us the money, but we ordered them. She's got 4 cards. So we're like, oh, who are your cards off? 2 of them are off the Husk's friends. Fine, whatever. And then 1 is off the Husk. And it's got a verse, nice words in it. In the card, written in, by the card maker. To Daisy. To my granddaughter at the top. From Grandma at the bottom. That's it. No personalisation. Now, our daughter loves cards with nice words in. She does. She's one of those young people. Well, I don't like calling them kids. Teenagers. Don't like that. Young person. Young human. For all she's a young person, she loves reading the words, and she'll open a card and just, she'll read the words and have a reaction, a smile, and look at you and say thank you. Where most young people, kids, they'll just open the card, look to see how much money's in it, chuck the card to one side. That's not our daughter. But anyway, point is, she can't personalise it though. It just says, to granddaughter from Grandma. She can't write anything. She has no words. She's just picked a card. She knows our granddaughter likes cards with nice words. So she's picked a card and thought, she'll like them words. But she can't personalise it. There's nothing all she needs to say is something like, I hope you have a great day. You get more beautiful every day. I can't believe how quick you're growing up. I'm so proud of you. You are turning into such a beautiful, mature young woman. Not hard, that is it. Not hard. She's got no words for it because words are when you think of words, what you're thinking is, what does this person mean to me? Well, she means nothing. She means nothing. So there are no words. It sounds harsh, but these are the little signs that I believe you can read. You read these little signs and signals, and you start to get a picture of what's going on inside. Because, you know, she's not going to tell you. She's not going to tell you that, your daughter means nothing to us. But these little signs, you know, coupled with everything else, that's my belief. She's got no words because she doesn't mean anything to her. She doesn't care about her. She doesn't care about the words. Look, man, I've bought the card. It's got nice pre-printed words in it. That's what she likes. And I've signed it. What's wrong with you? Well, you know, when you send somebody a card, it should be from you. Not the person who manufactured or designed the card. It should be from you. And if that was a blank card, or it just said, happy birthday in the middle, should still just put, this is my belief, should still just put to granddaughter from grandma. That's it. So, anyway, moving on. It's only signed by her. And not the dog, which is strange, because she always puts the dog's name on cards. So, that's a habit. Now, people like her, their whole life are habits, very robotic. They're like order, structure, routine. And why has she forgotten to put the dog's name on a card? Because we always think it's pathetic. Yeah, I do think that's pathetic. You know, she's the sort of person that sends her dog his own card on his birthday. Now, you might think I'm being harsh. I might be being unreasonably harsh on people who do things like that. I just think it's pathetic. Sending your card, giving your dog a card. She gives him birthday presents as well. So anyway, she's forgetting to put the dog's name on. I think, why? But it's signed just from her, not from St. George. So who's the other card off? Oh, guess what? Open it up. It's from St. George. Right? But this is the funny thing. He hasn't written it. She's written it. Her writing, the Husk writing, is very, 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 very identifiable. Weird, square writing. Anyway, but it's not even addressed to our daughter. It doesn't even say to such and such at the top. It just says from St. George. It just says happy birthday in the middle, like the pre-printed bit, happy birthday from St. George. It's one of those cards that you could say to the person, oh, can I have that card back? And then you could give it to somebody else, because it's not personalised in any way, shape or form. It's not obviously it's not personalised because it's not his writing. It's not his card. He hasn't given it to her. So, straight away I thought, well, firstly, what the hell's that all about? Secondly, you see how hers just says to such and such from grandma. That one just says from St. George. So hers has got it's not personalised at all. At least it's got her name in. His is even less. It's like a competition. It's like, I'm not going to make his as meaningful as mine. It hasn't got any nice words in it. She knows our daughter likes cards with nice words. Why didn't she buy a card like that from him? It's like she's in a competition. She can't let him win. Is that why she bought the card? and wrote it out because he might do a better job. That's what I believe. So she's got to be in control. I'm not writing his name in there because that's the wrong thing to do. I'm amazed she took that decision. He couldn't have had a part in it though, because if he had a part in that decision, he would have said, don't put my name in there, I'll get a recard, my own card. Anyway, who knows? But I'm amazed they have made that decision. But yeah, if he's going to give her his own card, it's certainly not going to be as good as mine. It's a competition because she's insecure. She's insecure and she's completely self-loathing, and she can't just trust. So she doesn't trust her granddaughter. Her granddaughter is not going to suddenly love him more than you insecure, stupid little husk. Your granddaughter's not going to suddenly do that based on a card. That's how fragile her ego is, how insecure she is. And obviously because she's got no words in her own card, she's got no words of her own, how do you make it even less, even worse in his card? Well, you just didn't even put her name on it. But how does that come across? It's just, it comes across, it diminishes him in everybody's eyes. He's pathetic. He can't even write his own card. Has he got some sort of disability and he can't write? I didn't know about that. No offence to people that might have that disability. That's not the point. The point is, I didn't know he had a condition that meant he couldn't write. I'll take that into account next time. I think I've been too harsh on him. It's diminishing him. So, where was I? So yeah, that's what I believe is going on there. Right, I'll not put his name in, but I'm getting him a card. I'm going to get him a rubbish card, and I'm not even going to personalise it at all in terms of not even put our name in it. His card's not going to be better than mine. So anyway, we said to our daughter, once we saw this card, we said, have you seen this card? And she went, yeah. I said, do you know that your grandma's written that out? It's not his writing. She went, yeah, of course I do. I even said that to them. We said, well, did you? She went, yeah. She's like chuckling. She went, yeah. I opened the card and went, oh, look, you've both got identical handwriting. Like, she just literally ridiculed them. And I'm thinking, go on, girl. Don't you go along with the fakeness. I don't even know, like, adults in this family, Roadkill wouldn't even have done that. If Roadkill got a card for her birthday written out by her own mother, presented by Michael, she would just go, oh, thank you. She wouldn't say anything because she's a child. Our daughter is a mature young woman. So we said, you literally just took the mick out of them. She went, yeah. He said, what did they say? What did your grandma say? She just sort of like looked embarrassed and like sort of like giggled or something. Like rolled her eyes and just like shrugged her shoulders and chuckled like a child. A child's being caught. I don't know. Did she think she was going to fall for that? Or is she doing it on purpose? She doesn't want her to get a card written out by him. Because, like I say, everybody's a threat to her. Everybody is potentially going to take away her status as the queen bee. Because she's so insecure. And I said, who presented you this card? I said to my daughter, who presented you the card? Did he hand you the card? Like, I want to know, was he aware of it? Was he aware that she had bought a card and put his name in it? So he's had no... Surely he hasn't bought the card give her it and said, here, will you write that out? Surely. He's had no part in buying this card. He's had no part in writing it. So I wanted to know, did he present it? Because I want to know, did he know that this was done? So I said, who did he present it? And my daughter just said, no, it was just the cards and the gifts were all just in one like gift bag. Everything was just in there, and that bag was just handed to her. And I said, so I'm thinking when she opened his card and made that joke, ooh, you've got this exact same handwriting, was that the first time he became aware that she had done that? Because, and what did he think anyway? What did he think was the card situation? Did he just assume, like, the Husk would buy a card and his name would be on it? Did he just assume that would be the case? And then this is the first time he's realised this is the way it's been done. Or did he say to her in the run up, Husk, do I need to get your granddaughter a card? And she's just went, no, it's sorted. No further information, just it's sorted. Because they don't challenge each other. You wouldn't say, why, okay, what have you done? How is it sorted? So anyway, it just diminishes him because he's pathetic. And if that is the first he's become aware of it, like a normal functioning human being would be annoyed at that. I would be annoyed. I would say to her in private afterwards, I would say, you should have let me write that card out. You should have let me buy the card, but at least you should have let me write it out. I would have liked to have signed it myself. He hasn't even signed the card. But no, it just diminishes them, and it diminishes the pair of them. But she doesn't realise she thinks she's untouchable, and she doesn't realise that it's diminishing him. In a matter of fact, it's diminishing them both. But she thinks she's untouchable. She doesn't realise it's just making us totally lose respect for him. And our granddaughter is losing respect for them both. She just thinks they're pathetic. A 15-year-old girl, and she just like rolls her eyes and goes, pair of them are just pathetic. She's just losing respect for them because they're children. Is there anything else on that topic? So the only other thing to add on this entry is it was the Husk's birthday a few days later, and roadkill went over. St George was obviously there. The beacon had to obviously show her face, as did. Actually, I don't know if our daughter went over on the day. She might have nipped over. I can't remember, because she's obviously got plans. She's got better things to do than go and see the Husk on her 74th birthday. Who cares? You're not a child anymore, man. Birthdays don't matter. They only matter to children. It don't even matter that much to our daughter. Like, she likes to get a few gifts, but she's not bothered. Like, we'll give her a few gifts, and then she went out with her friend in Newcastle. She's not bothered. We took her out for a nice meal the night before. That was a nice experience for her. Just the three of us, which we do every now and again anyway. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal to her. A birthday is just another day. She might get a few presents. It's just not a big deal. You're 74, get over it. You're like a child. Everybody has to go over and give you loads of attention, loads of presents. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear the Husk. Oh, you child. 74-year-old child. So, Beacon goes over there. Obviously, it's when it's safe to, because Roadkill is there. She's not going to get attacked by the Husk when Roadkill's there. So anyway, I don't go over. I'm not showing my face. Don't care. And That was another thing. Our daughter wrote out a birthday card for her, and we put it in the Husk's letterbox. So the Husk has got one of those separate letterboxes. It's out the front of the house, so the postman puts her letters in one of those boxes with the keys. So we'll put our daughter's birthday card to the Husk in that, because she was a bit late in writing it. So we'll put it in there, and then we thought, well, she'll probably get it tomorrow, but she'll not know when it was put in there. Anyway, we're like playing games now. We can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. Go and give her the card and force our daughter to go over. You need to go and give that to your grandma. I don't think our daughter actually went over in the end. I don't think she did. I think she might just text her. But that's fine. It's fine. So anyway, where was I? So it's her birthday. I don't go over there. Next day I'm on the drive. Now, what we got the Husk, what the Beacon got the Husk was, I said to her, don't put any thought into it, because she doesn't put any thought into anything that she gives you or your daughter. Just get her some vouchers or something. And so that's what she did. She got her some vouchers for afternoon tea or something like that somewhere, whatever. And that's it. No thought at all, really. So that was the present allegedly of us. So the next day I'm on the drive, I'm pottering about on the driveway, and Husk comes out with her dog to walk the dog in the morning, and I've just got my head down, and she says, thanks for my birthday present. I'm thinking, you just want me to say happy birthday to you, don't you? Because you're annoyed that I didn't even acknowledge you on your birthday because you're a child. And, if that annoys you, good. Because I can be a sociopath as well. There are times where it's suitable to be a sociopath. It's when you're dealing with one. So, I'm not saying happy birthday to you, Husk. So she went, yeah, thanks for your present. I just went, all right. And then I just couldn't help myself. I just said, all right, what did I get you like? And then she sniggered vouchers. I went, all right. And she didn't even tell us what the vouchers were for. I didn't even say you're welcome. And then she walked off, sniggered and walked off. It's like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you anything because that present is not from me. And I don't care what it is, and I don't care what it means to you. Are you getting it now? And I'm not playing your stupid games. I'm not playing. Let's pretend everything's fine. Let's pretend these presents are from each other. Let's pretend this, that and the other. I'm not playing it anymore. You're getting the real me. I don't like you anymore. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. While the Beacon was across at our house on her birthday, she said to the Beacon, I've had to buy some dog food. And Beacon said, well, right, what? And what she's making reference to, so Beacon was telling me this story, what she's making reference to is, so we get a big bulk delivery of dog food, dried dog food. We've got a dog, she's got her dog. Incidentally, she copied off us. We were getting a dog, Parson Russell Terrier, specifically wanted that breed, and we travelled across to the other side of the country in a snowstorm to go and pick up the puppy. Oh, she had a copy. She wanted one as well. So she had to get on board and choose one and go across and get hers as well. Like, you can't have anything without her copying. So anyway, we get this bulk delivery of dog food every 3 months or something. And there is enough for her to feed her dog as well. And we said she can help herself to it. When she first moved in, we said, just help yourself. It's in the garage, just help yourself. So again, she gets free dog food. But as time's gone on, I've had to start locking the garage because remember that story where she just helped herself and stole my property, claimed it for her own. So I've started locking the garage. So what she's referring to here, I've had to buy my own dog food. She's trying to make the Beacon feel guilty. Because a few weeks prior, the Beacon had bumped into her on the driveway and the Husk had said, "Am I still allowed dog food?" And the Beacon just said, "Yeah, of course you are." Like, that's the question. Am I still allowed dog food? And she said yes. But she never said, "Can I get some now?" She never said, "Can I get some tomorrow? Can I get some next week?" She just said, "Am I still allowed dog food?" Because she's a child. That's how children don't ask direct questions. They're not assertive. They hint. Because they haven't got the self-esteem. They haven't got self-confidence yet. And obviously that's the way we're going. We're not playing games. We're not playing like bowing down to our hints. Grow up, take responsibility. That's what she would be, the advocate of the saying, "Shy Bens get nothing." And that's it. If you're going to be shy, you get nothing. So that's the way we're playing it now. Am I still all right to get dog food? Yeah. Now since then she's never getting any dog food because she's never said, "Can I get some now, please?" She's never come back the next day and said, "Can I get some dog food, please?" She's just asked if, like to us, that she's just asking for future reference. And well, I'm not going to guess what you're getting at here. So anyway, she's never had the confidence to come back and say, "Can I get some dog food now, please?" Because she's so meek and weak. So when the Beacon's at our house and just saying, "I've had to buy some dog food," she can't even say what she means. What she means is, "I want to make you feel guilty. I've had to buy my own dog food, you know, because you didn't get me any dog food." I don't know, or whatever it is she's trying to say, but she's trying to make her feel guilty. And the Beacon just said, "Oh, did you?" Like, she's not biting to any of it, and it's just pathetic. It's just never. And so that must have been like 2 months plus ago. This dog food. Am I still allowed dog food? She's never had any since, because she hasn't got the self-esteem to ask. But you know, whatever. Don't care. One last bit to tag on the end. This is, I can't remember how long ago this was. Might have been 6 months ago. Just a very quick story to finish off this entry. So she took on the responsibility, the two of them, her and George, took on the responsibility of being the quiz master down at the local grotto, that I call it. They were quiz masters, so they had to put the quiz together. Just all generic nonsense questions, you know, nothing of any real interest in the questions, because they've got no imagination. But anyway, one of the quiz questions was, how many countries are in the United Nations, or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. The answer is something like 196. It doesn't matter. It's what a rubbish question. Who cares? You surely want to, like a quiz, you should learn stuff. That's my opinion. But anyway, there was one of the teams consisted of mum and dad and the son is our daughter's age. So you would have been 14. You might have been 15. But anyway, so let's just say 14. Might even have been younger. Might have been 13. Anyway, round about 14. Let's just put it that way. You know, a young person. When the answers were given out, whatever the answer to that question is, United Nations, when the answers were read out, the young boy questioned the answer, and let's just say he said, "I'm sure it's 197. Whatever, you know, whatever the right answer is, whatever he was questioning, doesn't matter. He was questioning it, and you know, as the quiz master, you would just say something like, "I'm sorry, but that's the answer." You know, the quiz master's answer is final or something like that. I don't know. You have to be absolutely certain of your answers, and therefore you're certain that that's just what you say. No, it's 196. Final answer. You know what I mean? You can't be having debates in the middle of a quiz. Anyway, you can always deal with that afterwards, you know. But anyway, I think that's what you did do. But the point, and you would do afterwards. You would check your source after the quiz. You would check your source, and then you would go over to that team, and you would just say to the team, just to let you know, I've checked the answer, and this is me. This is the answer, and this is the source, and that's all you would say. And that would be that. So she's telling us this story, right? The Husk is telling us this story. But she's doing it in a way where... So after the quiz, I went on my phone and, you know, she's typing into her phone wherever her source is. Let's just say it's Wikipedia, you know, the font of all knowledge. So I went on my phone, I went over and I put my phone and I showed it to him. Like, not to the team, not to the parents, not to the team as a whole. And I showed him, I said, there it is, see, I was right. Now, whether that's how she presented it to the boy, like saying, see, I was right. That's how she's presenting it to us. I knew I was right. And she's got this smugness about her. And afterwards, me and the Beacon just looked at each other, like in private, when we were in private, and just went, that was just a young lad. And just treating him like, you know, the ego, smugness, like, I showed you, I know more than you. It's a young boy. He's doing a quiz. And how many 14-year-olds actually have a clue about the United Nations, how many countries are in it, whatever. It's like, you didn't know that. You've just stumbled across it while you're doing your quiz. Oh, that'll make a question. You didn't know that. But you've got some sort of like one-upmanship on a 14-year-old boy. Well done, Husk. Well done.